And uh, I've been doing a year now, so I got 4 or 5 years more to do before I can catch up with you.
That's great. And what about some support of the information line about this practice?
I like that because it's a neutral site. He's just interested in gathering the information. And so whenever I have a information or a breakthrough or learn more, I put it on his site. But I write about it too on my site. I also have my workable technology forum, which is workabletechnology.com. And I have gathered input from lots of auditors on practices that they're using for this century, distance auditing, whatever. I I feel that the future is not saying you will all audit with a meter and do this and do that, because unmetered auditing is totally valid. There's many places in the world where that's what all is there's going to be for a while, and there should be as much information as possible on how to do unmetered auditing in person, over the net, things like this. I mean, there's countries where they don't even have electricity. Unmetered auditing is the way to go. So uh, I, I'd be glad to put articles on your website. We there's going to be a lot more in the way of uh, websites pulling this information together. I think the thing to do is to publicize what we're doing as much as possible and as openly as possible with reality. Like I try to explain what the difficulties are with the current state of the internet. I mean, eventually we're going to have all high definition, really fast video quality internet. But right now, that's not happening. And so, how do you get around it? What do you do when the session stops, for instance? My PCs and we deal with that with that beforehand. I said, if the internet shuts down, then I will call you back, But here's how we recover from this, and so that it isn't a surprise. And if the PC is already agreed to the conditions, there's no upset. It's all in meeting expectations. You see,
Okay.
all right? Yeah. Well, what I would say is, first of all, come up, do things to improve the existing computerized meters. They are good, but they could be better. One of the things this is a little off the topic, but one of the things I see is they're not necessarily that good at capturing TA action, the tone arm action. Uh, Not as good as a regular meter. A regular meter, even if the needle always stays right in the middle of the range, you can still get the tone arm action because you adjust the tone arm. You get a very small blowdown, you adjust the tone arm. Most electronic meters do not. They register the needle action, but they don't see that as a blowdown. They don't reset the meter until the needle goes way near the limits. At least the meters I have seen. Yours may be different.
Okay.
Okay, so at the end of it was we need to do things like where we help the people who are designing meters to build better meters, to learn to share techniques for handling handling cases with the equipment that we have. You see, uh, for instance, I would really like to discuss with somebody who has like done a green form, which is a long assessment uh, with a sort of a green PC uh, over a sort of a not very good line. I have some strategies that I use, but because I may have to make sure that the PC understands it really gets the question. It's like there's just a lot more interaction with the PC as opposed to sitting down and going bap 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 bap. You know, uh, I found that yeah, I guess that's what it is. It all comes back to you have to make a significant effort to really stay in calm with the PC. I know we're supposed to do that as auditors, but sometimes it's easy to forget when you're in an auditing room, PC sitting there looking at you, well, you figure you're in calm. And that may not be the case, you know, but especially if you're on the internet, PC's wife may have come into the room, the cat may be jumping up on the keyboard, you never know. You just have to like really make sure that you and the PC are in the same place and the PC's ready to listen to the auditing command. So it's not rote. I guess that's what I'm saying. You just everything that Ron said about auditing and being there for the PC is still true. It's just you really have to make it work for you and for the PC. Does that make sense? Uh, I think that the biggest thing is right now in the U.S. in northern Florida. I think it's I was going to say Tallahassee. Uh, Somebody's starting up an independent academy. You may have read about that on the internet just a few days ago. I think that's a big step. I think at some point those people will. I mean, then there's going to have to be a St. Hill special briefing course because I know a person right now who would like to teach that. He's a briefing course grad, and he would love to teach auditors to become SHSBC grads. Uh, I think that distance auditing will have to become a part of the curriculum at some point. But what I would do right now, I'll leave this offer open to anybody. If there's anybody who would like to practice, really seriously wants to get up to speed doing distance auditing, doing internet auditing, I'll work with them. You know, all they need is a meter, or conversely, I mean, I would just sit on the meter and they can do assessments and just I'll coach them. There's just lots of ways of just as you do when you coach somebody in a meter drill. It's just that we coach them on an internet meter drill. And I think in the process of doing that, we're going to see some things that we didn't see before because I'm sure in a drilling situation, more stuff would come up immediately than comes up in a session. Because you get in a drill, there's all kinds of things that the coach can do. And then if it's done realistically, you'll find right away, gee, there are some things that are difficult to handle, or how do you handle certain things? PC sort of gets distracted or isn't answering or whatever. You really need the skills, and I think that can be drilled.
Okay.
Yeah. And as you've written in your site, we have gained freedom over time because it's now at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock my time, and it's 4 o'clock your time, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So we have freedom over mastery over time and space.
Thank you, David. I remind you that today, 3rd of January 2011, and that was an interview organized by Maxim Lebedev. Our website webauditing.org. This is end of the tape. Bye bye.